How's it going, guys? This is just a quick little thing I wanted to throw together to kind of highlight a pretty good game that I had with the Wizen Rebuke and Cerberus +1. I actually went up against a team of 4, as well as someone who was really consistent throughout the game on the other side, and surprisingly not as much meta nonsense that I'd usually expect out of Quick Play. But in any case, I'm just gonna let this footage roll in the background while I just do a little bit of housekeeping here. I am going to be streaming on the day of the release for the new expansion. Oh, well, the new content drop for our whatchamacallit, our annual pass. So Season of Opulence is going to be bringing us a lot of fusion rifle buffs, which I am extremely happy about. If you know anything about me, you know that I absolutely adore fusion rifles so much, and I'm really happy that they are going to get addressed in PvE because they really do need the help. So that's going to be happening, as well as the fact that after the stream ends, that whole play session is going to be available for retroactive viewing on my channel. I'm going to do my best to try and put timestamps once the whole video is out, so that you can go ahead and fast forward through to the parts that you would want to see. So for example, trying out the new PvE stuff, doing leveling, housekeeping and whatnot on my characters, as well as doing a little bit of PvP and perhaps some Gambit. But aside from that, probably going to be running through all of my fusion rifles in Patrol. That is going to be one of the first few things that I'm really wanting to do. So we're going to be trying out the Proelium, which is in our rapid fire, rapid fire category. We're going to have the main ingredient, a couple of rolls of main ingredient that I've been sitting on. We're going to be using Erentil, of course. And then we're going to be using this Wizened Rebuke, as well as Loaded Question, because I believe Loaded Question is going to be seeing massive damage buff with the perk active, particularly in PvE. And then after that, we're going to be looking at a couple of choice fusion rifles, including Telesto, Merciless, as well as the Jotun. But honestly, I'm not quite as interested in those as I am in legendaries, considering the fact that exotics aren't getting as much of a buff as the legendaries are. But I definitely think that with the changes coming up soon, it is going to actually be viable to run a Proelium, which is something that I actually haven't seen a lot of people running since Forsaken hit, really. It just kind of got forgotten with all the hubbub about Erentil rolls being super good. Folks running around with the under pressure and rangefinder roll, which is very solid. Keeping in mind, and a little bit of salt from Incastle. I do get him back at the end of the video. Spoiler alert. But what was I saying? Jeez, at this point I'm just rambling. But yeah, going back to my original point, a lot of folks have been kind of sleeping on these roles, and I think that it's important to really take in the whole expansion. And I think that being a lover of fusion rifles, as I am, I think it's important that at least somebody, even if it's someone as small as me, really takes a critical look at all the changes that are coming, and really putting the word out there, and really spreading the news that fusion rifles are good, considering shotguns threat level and Turret level Mindbenders and the Ikelo Shoddy have been at the top of the I guess at the top of the list for a lot of people, at least in PvE. Mindbender's not so much, if not for, you know, hunting for it, so that you can use it in PvP. But that's neither here or there. I think one of the things that I'm most excited for, though, aside from those changes, are the fusions, or at the very least the fusion that's going to be available through the Menagerie. I don't know if you guys saw the infographic that's up on Bungie.net, but it looks like they are reusing the weapon model that was used for Panzer whatchamacallit, Praetorian Foil, Ash Raven's Flight, 77 Wizard, you know, I believe I believe those are the four big ones that shared more or less the same sort of structure. But a lot of those fusions, I do have a lot of super fond memories of. So I'm looking forward to seeing them come back, at least in the form of this new fusion. Particularly because whatchamacallit, I mean, the one that we see in the infographic is it has a long range scope, and I really like. If you're a fusion rifle user, you know that, you know, tight scopes really help with your groupings, and having some help in that grouping department really does make a huge difference in consistency. So that's going to be something that we're going to be looking at, seeing if we can get it, and two, seeing how good it is in either PvP or PvE, and really comparing and contrasting the two and seeing what roles we can get as well. But yeah, in any case, I'm just gonna let this the rest of this footage roll. I guess I've just been rambling this whole time, but I'm just gonna let the rest of this footage roll, have this music going in the background. And if you like what you heard and, you know, are interested in checking out that stream, you know, just feel free to tune in 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right here on this channel. Gonna be streaming to YouTube, and I'm probably gonna be up for at least 2 to 3 hours, and again, that video will be on the channel for you to view retroactively if you can't make it to the stream. So yeah, look forward to that. But whether this is your first video or if it's going to be the first of many, I'm just glad you're here. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope that my scrubbery leads to your victory. Peace out, friends.
straight, tight.
Oh boy.
Impressive, Guardian. You have an instinct for battle.
Wow, really? Again? What the fuck?
We do not know what she knows, nor the dangers she faces. We will stand vigil here until we have news.
Why do you keep giving me this gun, Bungo? Chill. Go on here.